Circle high enough, and the whole economy looks like carrion waiting to cool. Last week, the Federal Reserve chose again to freeze its talons. 4 straight meetings, no cut, no mercy. They claim vigilance. I smell paralysis. Tonight I will show you, in 3 swift dives, why this decision turns a weakening landscape into a feast for beasts like us, and why hesitation at the top could tear flesh from workers. Savers, even the job you defend with brittle optimism. Strip away the headlines and measure the pulse. Retail sales are sliding into negative territory, month after month nominal. Mind you, before inflation sucks out the marrow. A nation fueled 70% by consumption is now grinding its own teeth for calories. Ice and services slips below 50. Restaurants empty first, airlines next. When families cut the Friday night booth and the cheap flight to Phoenix, the hunt has truly begun. Yet payroll prints pretend all is well. Look closer, expectations so low a corpse could hurdle them. Household surveys bleeding 700,000 jobs in a single month. Labor force participation collapses, disguising unemployment behind a thinner denominator. Adjust the math, and the rate stalks 5% and climbing. All of this while prices cool PI, core CPI, PPI creeping toward the Fed's sacred 2% target. Weak demand, flat money supply, no new fuel for flames. The economy wheezes. The Fed stares at the thermometer instead of the patient. Higher tariffs, rising oil can't risk inflation. They hiss. History laughs. Recall 2007-8, crude doubled. CPI peaked at 5.6%, then plunged to zero once the weakened host collapsed into recession. Money supply was flat. Wages couldn't chase fuel. Households robbed restaurants to feed their tanks. Spending died. Prices followed. Stagflation? Even the 70s delivered disinflation once contraction took the wheel. Today, M2 has gone nowhere for 3 years. Tariffs, oil shocks, these are catalysts, not causes. They pierce an already emaciated hide and let the blood run out faster. Cut rates now or cut later. The cycle snaps all the same. The only choice is whether the landing strip is paved or jagged. Track Fed funds against the 2-year yield since 1985 and witness a pattern of tardy swoops. They never cut early. Zero instances of runaway inflation after a premature easing. But they always cut late, once the recession's entrails are already visible. Even hikes come long after the curve warned them. This cycle is no different. An inverted curve still howls while policy stays perched at 4.3%, an altitude the real economy cannot breathe. Grant them a token cut, 25, 50 basis points. It barely nudges the front of the curve, while 10 and 30-year yields rule credit and housing. The Fed manipulates the porch light while the house burns behind it. Understand, rates reflect the storm. They do not summon or calm it. The business cycle is older than any committee. Whether the Fed dives now or drifts until the bones bleach, contraction is inbound. Your task is not to plead for rescue, but to scout the terrain. Tiny disciplined investments, cash reserves, mobility of mind. Stay aloft, study the field, and when the herd finally notices the vultures overhead, you'll already be dining.